Good afternoon, everybody. This is another installment of In Case You Like to Know. In case you like to know what you missed at Sunday school, because most of y'all was at home or doing other things today, what you missed at Sunday school today, I'm going to give you a brief recap of what we talked about. And today we just talked about remembering. Today we were in Luke chapter 24, and we were in verses 1 through 12, and then we jumped to verse 25. And so I'm going to recount the story, and then I'm going to let you guys get on with your day. So it's Easter Sunday, the first one. The women go to the tomb to put some spices on Jesus's body. They find the stone that is rolled away. They go inside the tomb and they run into two angels who they ask them this question. And the question is, why are you looking for the living among the dead? Like, what are you doing? And then this is what they say after that. They said, he is not here, but he has risen. Remember how he spoke to you when he was still in Galilee, saying, and they quote Jesus, it is necessary that the Son of Man be betrayed into the hands of sinful men and be crucified and rise on the third day. And then they remembered his words. And so what I talked about with the kids today was like, why is it that we don't believe God when he tells us stuff? So Jesus tells his disciples and the women, hey, I'm going to rise again on the third day. And then he dies on the cross and everybody's depressed. And then on Sunday, when he rises, nobody's looking to see that he's alive. Everybody expects him to stay dead, even though he told them. And so then we just kind of talked about for a while why they don't believe me. And then, like, when I talk to them and, I tell them, hey, you need to do things and you need to tighten up. You need to give your life over to Jesus. You need to stop being disrespectful. You need to stop being mean to your parents. And I tell them, and you guys tell them the same things. I'm talking to parents now. You repeat yourself a lot, and the kids, for whatever reason, are slow to believe. And so then we continue on in Luke chapter 24, and we get to the spot where Jesus is alive, but he's not letting people know that it's him, but he's in active conversation. And so he's having a conversation with these guys who don't know it's him, but who are depressed about him dying. And he responds to them in verse 25 of Luke chapter 24 with these words. He says, how foolish are you, and how slow to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Wasn't it necessary for the Messiah to suffer these things and enter into his glory? And so Jesus' response to people who believe him slowly, he calls them foolish and slow of heart. Like, what is wrong with you people? And so I then went over some stories with the kids, because I was once their age, and I also made the same mistakes that they did. Or not all the mistakes, but at least mistakes kids make. I told them about how I lost my virginity. I told them about my first time at Mardi Gras and my experiences drinking. And in my experience, can't speak for everybody's, God was right. The Bible was right. My first time was horrible. Getting drunk was horrible. I made some of the dumbest decisions in my life while intoxicated. And I began to learn very quickly that if I just believed God from the beginning, it would have saved me a whole bunch of heartache and pain in my own life. And so I realized that God's words were for my protection, not that he was keeping me from having fun, and which is what I told them. And so then I left them with a decision, as I always do, is like, listen, you can either go out and make the same mistakes that we all made and then learn the hard way, or for once, you can just take my word for it. And when God tells you not to do something, you need to not do it. You need to believe him. And so I say that to parents as well as to kids. If you know that there's something that you're doing that you don't need to be doing, please stop. And if there's something that you know you need to start doing and you're not doing it, like going to church, please start. Don't be slow to believe, because God, you're only going to mess up your own life by not taking him seriously. And that's what we learned today at Sunday school. I thank you for listening. I hope you have a beautiful day, And Jesus is risen. Peace.